Welcome to my Thursday Thoughts. My name is Lainey, and this video is titled, In Defense of MS. Words I never thought I'd say. So last week I filmed a beautiful disaster haul, and if you like my shirt that says hating me won't make you pretty, if you like funky fashion, if you like edgy fashion, if you like this shirt that says perfectly imperfect, you don't know my story, the link to BD Rocks is down in the description box. But I wanted to address some of the not so nice things that I said in that video last week. I'm obviously not a large enough channel to do an official apology video, but I watched it back and I was like, wow, I was really harsh. And in particular, I was harsh on girls who flaunt their strife and flaunt their adversity and present themselves as effed up individuals. I'm going to try to watch my language in this video, but they present themselves as these effed up damsels in distress. And people seem to find that sexy, and that really chaps my butt. And the reason that chaps my butt is because all I meant to say is that I hope that self-proclaimed hot messes who are making no effort to get their stuff together and who are trying to attract attention from maybe people without the best intentions. I hope that those girls are not the girls who are rocking BD Rocks. I hope that the girls who rock BD Rocks are the girls who are at least on the path of getting it all together, who at least support getting their mental health in order and would support someone else whose goal is to get her mental health in order, who wants to be happier, who wants to strive for greatness, not someone who wants to wallow in being a hot mess. That is all I meant. But there's a reason that I got so salty about that, and I need to explain why. I have MS, multiple sclerosis. I have the relapsing remitting kind, and I have a very mild case of it. I can already feel people out there being like, oh, you poor baby, oh my gosh, your life must be so hard. It can be, but not because of MS. I'm actually going to defend MS, and I'm not even going to talk about MS all that much because the things that make my life difficult may be very, very loosely connected to MS, but MS is not the main thing that makes my life difficult. Chronic constipation, possibly caused by MS, but we're not really sure. At any rate, chronic constipation is what usually is making my life difficult. But I know that a lot of times people really don't want to hear about that poop or the inability to poop. So I'm going to keep that as toned down as possible. And then I also remember saying something in the video that I did about Katie Morton and Eugenia Cooney, and if you want to see that, go watch it. Basically, I was defending both of them because I felt like the internet was being very ignorant about what psychotherapy actually entails. That's a whole other video that's already up. Anyway, I said that I related to something in their video, and I went on a rant about how I am not my illness. Do not treat me like I am MS. I'm Lainey. I have a whole personality. I have a whole set of likes and dislikes, and I have these very few symptoms that do not define me. And then I went on this really impassioned rant about how much I hate it when my friends and family won't just hang out with me like a normal person and they keep needling me about MS and we can't just talk about normal things. Let me be clear, if you are somebody from my real life who is actually watching my videos on YouTube, I doubt it, but if you are by any chance, please know that I'm not going to get pissed off if you say, how are you doing? I really am not. What pisses me off is when I say I'm okay or I'm fine or it is what it is, and then I want to talk about something else and you keep on asking me about MS. And what really gets under my skin is when I feel like the reason you are so concerned with me getting control over my MS, which is not that bad, it's constipation that ruins my life. But even if it's constipation and people understand that, they're like, well, have you tried eating prunes? No, I've never heard of that. Have you tried drinking more water? No, I've never heard of that. Have you tried Miralax? I've tried everything, and finally I got on a medication called Linzess that does help quite a bit, but it doesn't actually fix the problem, but it does help. And thank you for asking. At any rate, what I hear when people express concern, excessive concern about my health is, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to try to play doctor with you. Not in a kinky way, but in an offensive way. I'm going to try to be your doctor. I am going to tell you how you should be taking care of yourself. And the reason I am going to spend hours telling you all of this when you just want to talk about boys is because I want you to feel like doing what I want you to do. And I know that that usually is not what the person means. Usually when they say, hey, how are you? Have you tried this? They really are just concerned. It is not a selfish agenda that they are pushing. The reason I get so mad is because there have been instances, very few instances, but very salient and very memorable and very offensive instances in my past when somebody was just being selfish and they wanted me to feel better so that I could basically do their bidding. And those instances ticked me off to such an extent that now I neglect to take my own advice in these instances, and I don't hear what people are actually saying to me. I hear what those very few dickheads were meaning in the past when they said, how are you doing? So I was preaching, listen without agenda, don't let your biases distort your perception of what someone is really saying to you. And I do that when people ask me how I'm feeling one too many times. I also get a little bit salty when someone says, hey, I haven't seen you out in a while. How have you been? And I say, well, I haven't been feeling very well, meaning I haven't been pooping, but I don't want to be socially unacceptable and talk about poop in public. So I just politely say, I haven't been feeling well. And they say, your MS is acting up. No, it's not MS. And I get defensive of MS. And we're not friends. I have no love for MS whatsoever. She's a bitch. That little monster, get it? Monster. That little monster who distorts my life, even if she doesn't ruin it. She's done me dirty plenty of times. I used to be a really good dancer. Can't do that anymore. I've always really disliked hot weather, but now I will flat out faint if I get too hot, or if I don't faint, my muscles tense up so much that I can barely move. That's MS. That's that little monster. And then I get really tired, like insanely tired, whereas before I could power through. Think of it this way. A person without MS or without any kind of health problem whatsoever starts the day at 4 bars. I start my day at 2 bars. But it is not all MS's fault. It's also because I'm an introvert. I'm not shy. I'm not socially awkward. I'm very friendly. I'm very much a people person. I can be very gregarious, but I need solitude in order to recharge. So before MS invaded my life, my introverted brain could power through after I hit that introvert wall and my level of cortical arousal was just off the charts and I needed my solitude and I was like, my skin was crawling because I just wanted to go home and have white noise and the music of my choosing or the TV show or the movie of my choosing playing in the background, have on my jammies and have my cat in my lap and not freaking talk. You know, for just a couple of hours, recharge, and then the next day I would be perfectly sociable again. People did not understand that, and I didn't make it known because I could power through. I could deal with the skin crawling, I could deal with the exhaustion. But now, because I'm already so exhausted from MS, because let's face it, it is a little bit harder, it takes a little bit more effort for me to just navigate the world than it does for somebody without MS. So I'm going into a situation already a lot more tired than someone without MS or without any health problems at all. And so when I hit that introvert wall, it's game over. And when people throw a fit, or if they call me names, or if they get butt hurt because I'm having to call it a night at midnight instead of hanging until 7 o'clock in the morning, and then they've got to call me the next day and keep me on the phone for hours whining about how much I hurt their feelings, I will ghost those people. And I realize that it may seem really unfair to someone who is an extrovert, who feeds off of the energy of other people. I'm not feeding them. And I'm demanding to be fed. I'm demanding my solitude because that's what feeds me. But I refuse to feed them. How do you reconcile that? I'm actually asking because I don't know how to reconcile that. But let's get back to the hot messes, and let me go back to explaining why I got so irritated over the thought that these self-proclaimed hot messes might be rocking beautiful disaster clothing and not really understanding the positive message behind the brand. And this is where I'm gonna get really honest. I was one of those girls. When I was in my early 20s, I was a little bit boy crazy, but I was this very confusing combination of boy crazy, of wanting a boy on my arm, of wanting to flirt, of wanting affection, but also being a gray asexual and not having any idea that that was my sexual orientation. So I would flirt with these guys, and I learned very quickly that acting a little bit distressed or messed up or in need of rescue was a tent pitcher, if you will. But then when they would actually try to rescue me, I'd get mad because I didn't actually need to be rescued. I just wanted a hug, maybe a kiss. And then when they would want more than a kiss, my body did not know how to process that because of my sexual orientation. I wanted affection, but my body did not understand sex. And it still doesn't, like 97% of the time. If you want information on gray asexuality, I'm not going to be one of those channels because I see the comments and I don't want to deal with that. I will just put a link down below. If you are genuinely interested and we kind of know each other, you can totally DM me, but I'm not going to make a video about it. I'm just, at least not at this time. So let's go back to defending MS, something I never thought I would be doing. So there have been guys in the relatively recent past who have been attracted to me because they felt like I needed to be taken care of. And they had this caretaking urge, and they thought that I could fulfill that urge. I do not need to be taken care of. Even on my worst day, I lead an extremely autonomous life, and that's the way I like it. And let's get one thing right. Wanting to be a caretaker, wanting to donate your time, wanting to volunteer in acts of service to another human being is beautiful, it's admirable. I do not fault that sentiment or that urge to take care. So if you do have that urge, volunteer. Go to school and become a nurse or become a social worker. There are 1,000 ways you can take out those caretaker urges. So if you are a person who finds yourself frequently experiencing feelings of romantic or sexual attraction to someone because you think that they need to be taken care of, probably none of the people who actually need to hear this message are watching this, but just in case, please hear me. Do not make an assumption that someone needs to be taken care of, even if she has some really awful sounding disease. And I know that MS sounds really awful, but believe me when I say that my version of it is annoying at worst. So do not make an assumption about someone. Put a target on her flat ass and then do her a bunch of unsolicited and unnecessary favors that are probably kind of offensive, and then get all butthurt when she won't bang you. And that's all I have to say about that. You guys, if I'm being totally honest, it is a dreary day. I am really tired, and it's not even MS. I'm just tired from the weather. I'm not in the best mood. I'm feeling a little bitchy. Plus, I genuinely, when I looked back on the videos that I made last week, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't think that I got my ideas across in a very gentle or very constructive way. And so I wanted to try to be a little bit more clear this week, but maybe it came across as even worse because I'm not in the best mood today. Maybe tomorrow I will be in a better mood because tomorrow I have a Dolls Kill haul, another one. I know they had a BOGO sale and I went ham. So as far as defending MS goes, that wraps it up for today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Follow me on Instagram. I will follow you back. Throw me a pity like, give me some encouragement to make some more videos. Very special shout out to you if you are watching this video on the toilet. And until next time, enjoy your joy responsibly.